Hey guys, it's Dr. JP, and today we're going to take a closer look at the running form of one of my incredible followers. I'm pretty excited to make this analysis as this is the first video I will be making where I analyze a more recreational runner. Hopefully this will provide value to you guys, as you may find some of the information I provide as I discuss this form to be helpful in improving your running as well. And on a complete side note, I'm getting over a little cold, so my voice is a little scrappy, so please bear with me. Okay, so this is the clip we will be looking at. As I usually do when I analyze elite runners, we will first be looking at stride frequency and stride length. To give some context, he is running at a 340 min per kilometer pace, which is converted to around a 554 min per mile pace for those living around the US. During this clip, he presents a stride frequency of 195 steps per minute. This is a pretty quick step rate, especially for this pace. Now, many people usually think the higher the step rate, the better, but that might not always be the case. Before we really delve into why he has such a high step rate, especially compared to elite runners at this pace, let's continue to look at more information on his run. Now, doing a few calculations, he presents with a step length of 1.4 meters. This is a little short, but looking at this value alone, it doesn't seem too bad. Based off this information we're looking at so far, he seems to compensate for having such a quick step rate in exchange for a short step length. However, this is only really looking at the surface, so let's take a closer look at different aspects of his form and look at the quality of his form to see how we can improve it so we can maintain a fast step rate while still optimizing step length. As we always do in our analysis videos, let's start with the landing. As you can see, he lands around the rear foot area, commonly known as heel striking. Now, many people really only focus on the specific type of landing, and if the person heel strikes, they automatically think one's form is bad because of it. On the contrary, there are plenty of elite marathoners who run around the rear foot. The reason why heel striking usually gets a bad rep is because it is commonly seen with recreational runners when they overstride, which may be the true root of the problem. Before we discuss any further, let's actually take a look at where the foot lands relative to the body's center of mass. As you can see, his foot lands a bit farther from his body, which, as I mentioned earlier, is known as overstriding. Overstriding is when someone takes too big of a step forward. This causes a braking mechanism to occur, as well as increased stress on the joints, leading to wasted energy and increased likelihood of injury when running. Now let's take a look at the movement where his foot makes contact on the ground to when it pushes off. As you can see, there seems to be a bit more front side movement than less backside movement. Based on what I talked about earlier, with his foot landing a bit too far ahead, it may be a good idea to bring the foot slightly back during contact to prevent that braking mechanism to occur. However, doing so further decreases his already shortened step length, so the next question may be is how to further improve step length besides improving power generation. To optimize stride length without significantly affecting step rate, you can probably extend the hips a little more, which will increase backside movement, leading to a slightly increased step length, which in turn may lead to overall improvements in speed. Before we move on, you might also notice an early heel rise of the foot as the foot rolls under the body. This may also be part of the reason why for the shortened stride. The root of this problem could be limited movement in a joint and or muscle, or a poor running pattern. However, the specific reason can only be figured out through a more physical examination and not simply through speculation. Next, let's take a look at vertical oscillation, which is how much bounce he has as he runs. And honestly, he doesn't present with much vertical movement. This is usually a good thing, as too much of it can cause increased stress on the joints and increased likelihood of running injury. The most likely cause of being able to maintain the slow oscillation in his case is that he does have such a quick step rate, as higher rates lead to decreased vertical oscillation. However, by making the adjustments we talked about earlier and improving power generation from the hips, he should still be able to minimize vertical oscillation even if his step rate slightly decreases. Moving on, you can see he presents with a slight forward body tilt. This aids in improved momentum forward and further gives him the potential to utilize those hips as we mentioned earlier. While maintaining this tilt, he still maintains good alignment of the trunk to help maintain good stability at the core to help maximize force reduction at the legs. Taking a look at the arms, you can see that he has adequate enough shoulder movement. It's not as big as we saw from the most recent runners we have seen, but those runners were sprinters. In a more long distance pace, there is less power generation from the legs compared to sprinting. Therefore, less arm movement is needed to help counteract the rotational forces coming from the lower body. Taking a look at the head, he keeps it in a slightly extended position, but it's basically in neutral. He keeps it adequately stabilized, and I do not see much forward and backward movement. I'd love to see the side-to-side movement occurring at the head as well, but this is the only view we got of his running. And that's all for my first analysis on one of my followers/subscribers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think about these videos and if I should continue to make more of these types of videos. If you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as my other pages. And as always, thank you for watching.